While the world watched President Trump's high-stakes dealings with Ukraine and Russia, something monumental was happening right under his nose, something that could change the future of the US auto industry forever. Canada just made a move that could leave Tesla and the entire US auto industry in the dust, and no one saw it coming. Canada just dropped a bombshell proposing a massive 100% tariff on Tesla, America's electric car poster child. But this isn't just about one company. It's a bold response to former President Trump's tariff-heavy trade policies, and if it goes through, it could turn the entire North American auto market upside down. Here's where things get interesting. Canada isn't just shutting the door on American EVs, it's rolling out the red carpet for European electric cars. This move could shake up the US auto industry in a big way, disrupting a trade relationship worth around $50 billion a year in vehicles and key metals like aluminum and steel. So, why target Tesla? It's not just any car brand. It dominates the US EV market with a whopping 70% share. Slapping a 100% tariff on Tesla could drive prices up by $5,000 or more in Canada, making it a much tougher sell at steeper price points. Canadian buyers might start looking elsewhere, giving European car makers a golden opportunity to swoop in. This could leave Tesla struggling to hold its ground north of the border and trigger a major shakeup in the EV market. But the impact wouldn't stop there. It could set off a chain reaction of problems far beyond just Tesla. For starters, Tesla's investors could take a big hit. When sales drop, profits shrink, and that usually leads to falling stock prices. Since Canada is a key market, losing sales there could throw a wrench in Tesla's bigger plans for growth and expansion across North America. Investors might start questioning the company's stability, and that nervousness could ripple across the entire EV sector. But there's more. The EV industry, which has been growing at full speed, could suddenly hit the brakes. As production costs rise and car prices climb, fewer people might be able to afford electric vehicles. This could seriously slow down the push for clean energy, delaying efforts to cut carbon emissions and protect the planet. Now, Tesla finds itself right in the middle of this trade storm. You might be wondering, can a single tariff really shake up the entire US auto industry? Absolutely, the ripple effect could be massive. Let's break it down. Tesla isn't just another American car company. It's the face of the global EV movement. The company plans to sell over 1 million cars worldwide this year, with more than 50,000 of those sales coming from Canada. But if Canada follows through with this 100% tariff, Tesla prices there could skyrocket. Imagine this: a Tesla Model 3, which currently sells for around $40,000, could suddenly cost closer to $80,000. That kind of price jump would make it unaffordable for most buyers. And here's the kicker. It's not just Tesla that's at risk. The entire North American auto industry could feel the impact. Big names like General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler could all get caught in the crossfire. Canada produces over 2 million cars a year, many of which are shipped straight to the US. If this tariff fight escalates, factories could shut down, leaving thousands of workers without jobs and shaking up the industry. Canada's auto sector brings in about $50 billion a year, but this brewing trade war is threatening to throw a wrench into the entire North American economy. So how did it get to this point? And why didn't the US see Canada's bold move coming? When one of America's biggest trade partners pushes back, things get messy fast. And that's exactly what just happened. Canada threw down the gauntlet, and the Trump administration was completely blindsided. Trade between the US and Canada is massive, over $800 billion a year. That's a lot of money on the line. But instead of folding under US pressure, Canada hit back hard. They slapped retaliatory tariffs on American goods, opened doors to new markets, and strengthened ties with the European Union, all to protect their economy. What triggered this all-out trade brawl? It all started when the Trump administration doubled down on its America First trade strategy, slapping hefty tariffs on Canadian and European imports. The goal? Protect US industries. The result? Major backlash. Experts saw it coming. Supply chains thrown into chaos, higher consumer prices, soaring fuel costs, and a real threat to jobs on both sides of the border. If you've noticed gas prices creeping up or grocery bills getting more expensive, this might be why. But here's what's even scarier. This kind of tit-for-tat could spiral into a full-blown global trade war, where no one really wins. So, why did the Trump administration take this risky bet? And did they completely misjudge Canada's next move? Turns out, Canada wasn't going to sit quietly. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wasted no time calling the US tariffs unfair, warning that they'd hurt both economies. Then he struck back, hitting US steel, aluminum, and even everyday essentials like beef, dairy, and fresh produce with retaliatory tariffs. The message was clear. We're not backing down. But Trudeau didn't stop there. Canada fast-tracked trade deals with the European Union and countries like Indonesia and Ecuador, reducing its reliance on US markets. This wasn't just a short-term fix. It was a long-term strategy to strengthen Canada's economic position and make the US feel the squeeze. Then came the power move. Canada and the EU teamed up to form a strategic minerals alliance, directly challenging China's dominance. In this critical sector, this time, it's not just about cars or tech, it's about something even bigger. The fight for control over critical minerals is heating up. We're talking about the materials that power electric cars, solar panels, and smartphones, things like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. These minerals are the backbone of clean energy and high-tech industries. The problem: China currently dominates the global supply, controlling over 90% of it. Now, Canada and the EU are stepping up, working to build their own supply chains and cut dependence on China. But this isn't just about securing resources, it's a strategic power move. The message to the US is clear. Fall behind on smart trade policies and risk missing out on the future of energy. But minerals aren't the only thing shaking up global alliances. Across the Atlantic, Europe is growing uneasy about Washington's unpredictable foreign policies, especially under Trump's leadership. One moment in particular pushed Europe over the edge, when the US held secret talks with Russia about Ukraine, without even informing its European allies. That was a wake-up call. Realizing it couldn't rely solely on the US for defense, Europe took action. France quickly led the charge, organizing high-level meetings to strengthen military partnerships, tighten defense supply chains, and ramp up military spending. The EU started carving out its own path, pushing for more military independence and reducing its reliance on NATO, the very alliance led by the US. At the same time, Canada and Europe have been quietly shaping a new global playbook, one that doesn't always check in with Washington first. Meanwhile, trade tensions between the US and Canada are spiraling into unexpected territory, hitting industries that few thought would be affected. Take American farmers, for example. They've been thrown into chaos. It all started when the US slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, including key agricultural exports like grains, meat, and dairy. Canada wasted no time retaliating, targeting US crops like corn and soybeans, as well as beef, hitting American farmers right where it hurts. The result? Export costs for US farmers skyrocketed, and finding new buyers for their goods became nearly impossible.